So those of you who don't know now, you know, I've been suffering from anxiety for quite some time. It's not always been easy, but lately I just been having a hard time sleeping. I've been anxious. I've been completely hard on myself. I've not been being very nice to myself. I'm suffering really bad. And with my anxiety comes along my OCD behavior, my obsession compulsive disorder, and then after that I start getting very depressed. And I nitpick at myself, and I tell myself I'm not worthy of things such as like love and compassion, and I overthink everything, and Lord knows it's been difficult. Geez, guys. But if anyone knows, or I could, I don't know really what to do anymore. It hurts when people take advantage of me and they take my kindness for weakness, or I feel like I can't talk about the way I feel with people, I feel like the last couple weeks I just really been feeling like I am choosing, because I blame myself, of course, to be walked all over just to feel love, and I try to seek self-gratification from others. I have a problem with that. I feel like if people aren't praising me or giving me attention, like I'm not good enough. So I always need like someone to tell me that I'm doing a good job or that I'm good enough. Because then I don't know. And I never had a healthy relationship with a guy, so it has always made things quite difficult for me. So when I meet someone and they send me a false dream, or they quote unquote pretend like they like me, or they use me for sex and then that's all they want, and I kind of wanted more from this person. I feel miserable. I blame myself. And then I feel like I allow this. And, I think that's one of my biggest triggers is I don't know what healthy love with a partner is supposed to feel. I've never really talked about the way I feel. But I fell into the deepest depression last year. And I never recovered from it. Thinking about it and going into 2019, I never recovered from this. I still am stuck, and I think I'm afraid. I'm afraid of failure again. I'm afraid of creating something and having people walk out. I'm afraid of making new relationships with new people and having them leave and bail. And, I was always there for the people that were in my life before, and when I needed them most, no one was there for me. No one checked on me. No one cared. And it affected me. I never thought I would need someone, a shoulder to cry on, but when I did, there was no shoulder. The hardest part is I see a change in my personality, and I'm not happy. I'm not outgoing anymore. I'm different. I'm not used to staying in the house all on the weekends. I'm not used to having no one to hang out with. I'm the ultimate loner. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has its perks. I'm learning more about myself. But God, it's difficult, compared to my busy life and having a set schedule of dancing. And that's another thing with these mental issues. I do best when I have a set schedule, when I'm going to work. And this winter and having time off has been difficult, to say the least. Holy shit, I'm bored. This is way too much time for me, and I cannot wait to go back to work and just have a set schedule and feel like I have structure in my life, because I do best with a schedule and with structure. And I think I never gave myself to heal. I dated a guy during the summer, and he would say some really hurtful shit, and I never gave myself to heal. It was just okay, next person. Okay, this didn't work out, next person. Okay, back to my ex Eddie. And then next person. And the next person. I'll talk to this person. And it's like I wasn't necessarily sleeping with all these people, but I was giving my energy. I was texting these people. I have guys hitting me up on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. It was just like, I don't know how like all these Insta famous girls do it. Like, totally overwhelming. Like, and a guy asked me, like, you don't like when a guy asks you for pictures and texts all the time. I'm like, it's kind of overwhelming because I have anxiety, and that just intensifies the shit because I have a bunch of people asking me for things or sexual things and the roughest part about being in this depression is just like trying not to be in this depression, like really pushing yourself to be happy and trying different things, reading, writing, everything. But then I'm anxious at the same time. So it's like, it's a hard mixture. And then my OCD starts kicking in and I start obsessing, over certain thoughts and just, and it just becomes this like whirlwind of like, I'm struggling. And for the first time in my life, I could say like, I am ready to receive some type of treatment because I can't live like this. I can't live an anxious life anymore. And I'm tired. And I can admit that I'm so tired. I'm so tired of feeling pressured. I'm so tired of feeling like I need. And I'm just like, I don't want to look for men and feel like I need a man to feel beautiful. I live in a place where people already have children and people have families, and we go on Instagram and we see people with families and everything looks so perfect, right? And I just feel pressure to have someone, and like being single is just abnormal. And I see my friends and they have children and I don't, and I never felt like guys really liked me, so that's a trigger. And then on top of all my other triggers, and I just need to nip this in the butt. Like I was saying before, like I think it has a lot to do with like the way I view myself. It's this is an ultimate self issue, but I need help. Like for the first time in my life, I can admit it. Like I want to be happy again. And I feel like for sure with that relationship aspect, because I feel like that's a big part, my sexuality, it's a deep rooted thing. And I don't really want to go into it right now, but I think like having self-worth and self-value, like I've really been clicking on that and just realizing that so many men have used me. Like it disgusts me, and I don't want to hate all men, and I don't want to say all men are like this. But when I have men lie to my face and tell me that they like me and use me, and I'm sure other women are going through this right now. Men that are using them for sex, sell them a dream. Oh, you're beautiful, I like you, we should date. But then you realize like this nigga's only using me for sex. And that I've never had like a real super healthy dating relationship with anyone. If we're not arguing, I actually take that back. Like the most healthiest relationship I've had is with one of my good friends, and he's probably gonna watch this. And we dated for a while, and it's been like the most normal but abnormal thing. He's been such a kind friend to me, and I love him. I know I drive him nuts sometimes, but I love him, and I appreciate him. But, I think I'm very fearful. I'm afraid of a lot of things. I think it's triggered from anxiety and experience. But yeah, I'm tired of being afraid of life and afraid of certain things. And I'm just tired of feeling helpless and worthless. I deserve to be happy. And it's almost 2019, and I'm going to fight for my happiness. Dance was very therapeutic, and I think all my dancers, they helped keep my mind off a lot of the anxiety and the pain and the intrusive thoughts and the episodes. because I was having intensified anxiety episodes, psychosis episodes, hallucination. I was going through it, you guys. Paranoia on the max of I should have probably been hospitalized. So scary, so bad, so anxious, so worried. I should have been hospitalized and medicated. But I did it, and I guess the biggest fear is like I don't ever want to go back to that. That was so scary. God. I get anxious like talking about everything, and I'm a survivor, and I have to get out of this depression and fight for my life. And I appreciate all the people like Susanna invited me to Zoom, but I didn't go. I should have went. My friend Jessica, my friend Sonia and Brooke, my family. Excuse me, guys. Everybody that takes time out of their life just to like invite me somewhere and help me. I don't think you guys know how much that means to me. It means a lot. If you guys like know any places where I can seek some therapy, some group therapy, anything of that nature, some low income counseling, I think I need it. I need to learn how to better manage my depression and my triggers. I don't want to have an extreme panic attack or episode of any sort. And thank God I should be getting insurance soon. But in the meantime, if any of you guys know any great books I should read or anything, just any information that could help me, motivate me. If you personally want to hang out and talk, and maybe I can answer some questions for you, please talk to me. Like, I would love to help.